If you are one of those people who are like frequently late to the movies, don't be late for this one, because
Oh, yes.
you will miss the best possible opening shot of any MCU movie ever. This is rated R. First time again in Disney's history, this is a rated R movie. You have a movie which is such a great iconic representation of Wolverine, Deadpool, played by actors who you don't think can be ever replaced by anybody else.
Yeah.
With costumes which are comic book accurate, with jokes which are landing, with action which is superb, like the CGI which is good. Or kya chahiye? What else does a superhero movie fan wants?
Okay, so we have watched this movie, Deadpool and Wolverine. It is available in theaters near you, and you must definitely, absolutely be watching this. Do not wait for it to come in any OTT for that matter. Go watch it in IMAX, go watch it in first day, second day show, whatever it is. But you should definitely be watching and not missing it out. It's an iconic piece. And today, this representation is an iconic representation in itself, because he comes from a relevant watching experience
Yeah.
of watching all the kind of movies, whether it is DC, MC, BC, Fox, everything. And I come from a very fresh experience of not watching any of these movies, especially the ones which are being referred specifically to this.
Yeah.
Okay, but okay, if you are seeing this video first time in your feed, so I think we should be doing a bit of an introduction. My name is Deblina Ray,
My name is Abhishek Singh.
and this is a very fresh episode of Weekends with Us. We welcome you to our discussion, and this husband-wife duo is all about discussion. We keep on watching. Okay, another introduction. He introduces me to the world of Marvel and Disney and whatever. I introduce him to the world of
Reality shows.
reality shows, Coffee with Karan, Splits Villa, Roadies,
Yeah.
Not Yet Big Boss, but Karan Johar kind of movies, okay?
Yeah.
But having said that, today we are going to be discussing on this, and I'm going to be presenting a perspective, like if
Yeah.
you do not have an idea which is an ideal expectation from any Marvel movies, because there are so many references which are there that you
Yeah.
should be knowing to understand it fully, and to also be able to relate to the humor or like some references which are being drawn.
Right.
So I come from a very fresh perspective, and he is going to be speaking probably more on the detailing, more
Right.
on the nuances part of it.
So basically, this movie is the only Marvel movie you will see this year, which is a very unique thing in itself. Every year you used to get 5, 6, 8 movies, so many TV shows. And Marvel has been going through a very rough patch, which is called in this movie also, right? So they've been going through a very rough patch, flop after flop. The last movie, Miss Marvel, could not meet its budget. Before that also, we had Ant-Man and Quantumania. A lot of TV shows that came in, nobody cared about. So they have been going through a very rough patch. And fans have been telling them that, what the hell are you doing? I am asking for a very simple, true to comics superhero movies. What is with this, this whole liberal, progressive thoughts that you are cramming into the superhero movies? What is it about?
Infinitely more than you.
Right? So Disney, how does it feel, right? I mean, suddenly going from all these liberal LGBTQ representation, diversity and feminism, and going straight to the point. You have your own movies for that, right? I mean, so here's the thing. We are not against diversity. I mean, like, we are one of the most liberal people out there. But there are movies for it. When you watch Barbie, it is, yes, about dolls, but it can be about feminism. It can be about certain messages. Why do you want to cram it in superhero movies? Here, you have a movie which is such a great, iconic representation of Wolverine, Deadpool, played by actors who you don't think can be ever replaced by anybody else.
Yeah.
With costumes which are comic book accurate, with jokes which are landing, with action which is superb, like the CGI which is good. Or kya chahiye? What else does a superhero movie fan wants? This is all that they want, right? So that is why we are so hyped about it.
So I know that he's going to be speaking 90% of it, and he's going to clear the GD round. So before it happens, I'm going to put my point across very swiftly. So first thing first, innovative storytelling is something that I absolutely loved. And girl to girl, if you are also somebody, not just a girl, probably even guys also might not be liking this kind of action movies, or probably haven't had the experience of being so dedicatedly watching all the series. So this is for you folks. you would be loving the innovative storytelling, the star cast, the humor, the action sequences, the camera work, the cinematic experience, the background score. I think everything. And whatever bullet points I mentioned, we are going to be deep diving on each of them
Yeah.
in more details in due course of time.
Right.
But I think we should start with the innovative storytelling first.
Yes, absolutely.
This is written by Ryan Reynolds and acted also by Ryan Reynolds as the Deadpool. And oh my god, like he's so great. He's such a genius.
Right.
And I don't think so in any review I have been so hyped about it. I have never been so pumped, because throughout the movie your adrenaline is pumped. You are enjoying the sequences. There are certain beats which are there to which you are going to be grooving to the action and the
Yeah.
background score put together, and it would feel like they are including you in this,
Right.
because majorly the dialogues are something, it's amazing. I mean, dialogues are written from a very audience point of view is
Yeah.
what I felt.
Right.
Like, even though like I do not have references of many things, and it is absolutely okay for you not to have references for certain things kept aside, you will be able to relate to it, because
Yeah.
there are certain references which are like, I mean, Ryan Reynolds as a writer and as an actor has actually listened to the audience from years and have written the dialogues.
Right.
And it always meant, I mean, when we were watching any shots that were happening,
Right.
I mean, we felt like, he's actually speaking our mind.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you continue.
He's cracking jokes on 20th Century Fox, on X-Men, on MCU, on Disney, on Wolverine. Like, whatever is possible, he is cracking jokes on all of it. Okay, there are so many jokes. I mean, like, the jokes are very quick, very quick. I mean, like, you blink and you will miss a joke. You will blink and you will miss a reference which is there. The rewatchability of this movie is so that you should watch it for second or the third time, because there are so many things to notice, so many things to hear. Right, so that is one. Second thing is, if you are one of those people who are like frequently late to the movies, don't be late for this one, because
Oh, yes.
you will miss the best possible opening shot of any MCU movie ever. Right.
Exactly. The reason why I'm ready to pay
Right.
additional dimes for watching this movie once again is just for the first opening shot.
Right.
Oh my god, what was that? The entire audience was cheering and they were like, woo!
Right.
They were actually going gaga over it. I
Exactly.
mean, hats off to the action, oblique dance choreographer there.
Yeah.
And I think the way Deadpool has actually pulled it off,
Yeah.
amazing.
Not going to spoil it, but basically what they did in the opening shot is they had to reference Logan, because in Logan, technically Hugh Jackman retired. He's like, "Bhai, this is my last movie. I'm going. Bye bye." फिर क्या हुआ? पैसों की कमी. ठीक है. He needed money, Marvel paycheck of course, and he's back now. I mean, okay, so I'm joking right now. Of course, Ryan Reynolds also persuaded Hugh Jackman that please come back, right? I mean, we want this team up to happen. Audiences want this team up to happen. So Hugh Jackman is back. Now, when he is back, you have to justify, like, okay, so you were dead and now what happened? So his death is kind of referenced in the opening shot, and they did something with it, which is crazy. You are laughing your
crazy,
ass off. Right? So I mean, like, that link up from the movie Logan, and like how they show the opening shots, I'm like, this is god level creativity, god level representation. The CGI, the action, the music, superb. Right? So yeah, so anyway, so point
And
is,
the opening sequence is
Yeah.
not like a 1 minute thing, okay?
yeah,
It is.
it goes on and
It
on.
goes on, and to
Yeah.
keep an audience hooked to
Right.
that long sequence, an
Yeah.
action sequence, is very difficult,
Right.
unless and until you are a Marvel in your own self.
Yeah.
So brilliantly done.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I think we're talking about the jokes. I
Yeah.
would really want to point it out there that the jokes or humor in
Yeah.
action movies, comedy in general, is not something which is done very easily. And that to put in an action movie, again, not done very well. I mean, usually not done very well. But this movie excels in both the pieces. So, which is why I think most of the reviews are going to be that this movie is funny and hilarious.
Yeah.
They are probably also be talking about the action sequences, but the funny and the hilarious part is also something which is going adjacent to each other.
Right.
I mean, we were just talking about how
The movie Kalki?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
movie Kalki was actually lacking in that piece, and
Right.
it was all about that, probably it got lost in translation. And
Yeah.
we were also talking how in Marvel movies also,
Yeah.
this comedy or this
Yeah.
humor has been not really been taken well by the audience,
Yes.
and the audience has always wanted a core action movie.
Exactly.
But I think these people just listen to the audience,
Yeah.
and with the creative writing of Ryan Reynolds, they have knocked it out of the park.
Exactly. I mean, like, you need a person like him to first of all write and then deliver on those jokes. It's not an easy job. Honestly, it's not easy job being Ryan Reynolds, being Deadpool, right? So that is something which is and in the fourth wall breaking, it works. It's not a gimmick like a lot of movies use. We saw this movie Ishq Vishk, there was fourth wall breaking. Everybody is doing these days. Even in MCU, She-Hulk tried to do it, and that wasn't done well, honestly.
Because this breaking the fourth wall thing, historically, basis my limited knowledge, I have seen that people are trying to explain a sequence or a scene which has
Yes.
just happened,
Right.
or they're saying that something is about to happen.
Yeah.
They do not really crack a joke.
Yeah.
I mean, this was a very entirely new definition of how breaking the fourth wall has
Yes.
happened in this movie.
Exactly.
Like, there were fun, I mean, I think humor, a lot of humor, a lot
Right.
of funny
Yeah.
humor, which
Exactly.
landed very well with me.
Absolutely.
I'm still gushing and blushing over it.
Exactly. She's a first time viewer of Deadpool movie, right? And like, she was able to enjoy the movie despite not knowing about the history. She could enjoy because the action was so great, the comedy was so great, right? And they tried to explain as much as possible in the movie. So that way, the plot. So just setting up the premise, basically at the end of last movie, we saw that Deadpool fights the character of Cable, and by the end of the movie, he get this time device through which he changes a lot of events which has happened in the past. Okay, including events which happened in the movie. He also goes and kind of erases his own portrayal of Deadpool in a shitty movie, a shitty version of Deadpool. He goes and shoots it. Anyway, so that ending was hilarious in the Deadpool 2. What it kind of links it back to this movie, where now the TVA. Now, what is TVA? Time Variance Authority. Most of you would not know it if you have not watched the Loki series. Okay, so again, the only negative about this movie is it expects you to watch Loki TV series, all the MCU movies, X-Men franchise, Fantastic Four, Daredevil, Elektra. Like, how much are you supposed to see just to know 100% of this movie? That is a little bit problematic in my, because you can't enjoy 100% of this movie in a silo. Like, it is asking you to do homework. Like, you've gone to this movie and you're like, ये homework है, एक काम करो जरा करके लाना, and then you can enjoy my movie. Okay, so that is the only negative I feel about this movie.
I think the Marvel universe has always been like that.
Always been like that.
I mean, not just Marvel, but
Yeah.
anybody who is trying to create an universe
Yeah.
has always been like that, and it's great for their own business.
Yeah.
I mean, they are like increasing the audience watch hours for
Right.
their all other movies clubbed together.
Yeah.
Great business value. I think
Yeah.
for us, again, as you rightly mentioned, if it is like 100% of the nitty gritties that you would want to understand, that what is the reference point of it, probably yes.
Yeah.
But if you don't really know, and if you have a partner like him who is like, hey, this is from that, this is from that, I think kaam chalao ho jayega.
Exactly. Like, for now it's fine, but it's just that even I am now starting to miss on certain TV shows and movies because I am like, it's too much. Like, I'm certain TV series I'm missing out, and they purposefully cram it in the next movie, so you have to go and watch. Anyway, point is the movie still does a fair job of explaining you what they are, what they do.
And although, I mean, the fun part here is, the irony is, he's actually making fun of this.
Yeah, he did call it out.
He did.
Cameos, multiverse.
But he himself has written this in the movie.
Right, exactly. So basically, Time Variance Authority is now looking for Deadpool to come and kind of do something to save his universe. Okay, as per them, if you saw the trailer, it is about that Logan, like, basically he sacrificed himself in the last movie, and he was an anchor being. They explain that there is an anchor being in each universe, and as soon as they die, the universe kind of withers out, right? And now Deadpool has to do something to save the universe. So that is the premise, and he now goes out to find another Wolverine because the Wolverine in his universe, is dead. By the way, this is Earth 10,005. They mentioned that this is Earth 10,005. Whatever MCU movies you have seen before, those are from Earth 616. So multiverse thing, basically it's a different Earth, different place altogether, and as of today, they are still keeping kind of a soft boundary between the X-Men Fox Studios universe by saying it is Earth 10,005 and whatever Captain America, Iron Man you have seen, that is Earth 616. So they're kind of keeping a little bit of boundary there.
I would actually particularly want to speak about the action sequence. Some innovative ones is what I felt.
Yeah.
Especially of Cassandra Nova. I mean, the way the fingers have been used, I saw it for the first time.
Even
And the way the VFX CGI work has happened, and it has been used very creatively.
Right.
That is number one.
Yeah.
I think the action sequences of Deadpool and Wolverine are unique in their own self.
Right.
I won't be the best person to comment unique. You would be the best person if they were like actually unique or not. But then there was a car action sequence.
Right.
I mean, do these people not die really? Like how is?
They don't. So
they don't. Okay.
They both can regenerate basically, and they use it.
Regenerate. Correct.
So they actually use the regeneration powers of Wolverine and Deadpool
very effectively,
right? Because they can like mash each other to death, and still they would come back, right? So it gives way to the writers to be as brutal. This is rated R. First time again in Disney's history, this is a rated R movie. I mean, they took a rated R property from the Fox, and by virtue of that, even Disney now has a rated R property. So they use that to its best extent, right? I mean, Wolverine is feral because till now he was restricted by what? PG-13. Okay. Every time you see that claw going into an enemy, no blood, nothing in the past movies, all right. There was never at all. Only in Logan they embraced the rated R, and that is where he was anyway dying. He was old, he was dying, so you couldn't see the feral part of a Wolverine at its prime. Here you see it, right? Here you see him in the costume. Finally, like, I mean, in the movie, the characters are calling out that why did it took you so long to wear this yellow suit, okay, which is iconic in the comics. And they back in the day, even like I think it was 2011 or when they made like Wolverine 2, one movie, and they showed a glimpse of that yellow suit. Never made him wear it after that. I mean, it was like a post-credit scene in the movie where they showed that the suit is there. Never made him wear it for some reason, right? So God knows what Fox was thinking, why they were like, let's not make him wear this suit, but finally these guys did, and amazing looking on the screen.
Especially the first one, the feral part which you mentioned. Watch out for the first
fight.
The first fight and the first step of Wolverine.
Yeah, he charges like you see that, and you
like a wolf.
Yeah, you will be getting goosebumps in the theaters.
Audience cheered.
Yeah,
audience were like, whoa.
People went crazy. First of all, the action scenes are great, and you are seeing such a great movie after such a long time. Okay, so MCU has been like that guest which keeps on coming to your house. Hey, how are you? And after a while, you get sick of it.
And then
when you take a break, right? I mean, when you see your friends after 1 year, that is when you like them the most. So same way, the audiences were cheering. They were going crazy. They're like, oh my God, I have missed this so much. So that is what people want exactly.
Yeah, I think this creative writing really helped.
Right.
And kudos to directors, writers, and the cast for taking such risks.
Right.
Because, I mean, if such dialogues were done in the Bollywood film industry, you would have been irking lot of Karan Johar's, right? Because here he is literally, I mean, speaking about Fox, Disney, Marvel,
everyone. Nobody's safe.
Even there are like a lot of cameos.
Yeah.
Whether they would be fitting in the budget, they would not be like calling it out loud, right?
Exactly.
And specifically the production houses which are mentioned and the way those have been mentioned, of course, humorously. But if people want to take disrespect, they can take disrespect, right? And if the same thing happens in Bollywood industry, you would be boycotted. You will not be part of the gang you are part of.
Exactly.
So you are not going to get movies. You are going to go jobless,
exactly. Deadpool is the only character which can do so much of shit talking in the movie.
He just used his, I mean, whatever was there that he's a shit talker, he used that to his benefit.
Right, absolutely. Yeah. So I mean, again, acting wise, I think these guys did a fabulous job. I mean, everybody embraces their character. Like, you can't think of who can replace these folks. If Ryan Reynolds was in Deadpool, I don't know who can replace him, right? I mean, this is his baby. Because if you don't know, I mean, like, let's say if you don't know about Deadpool, back in the day they made a shittier version of it in one of the X-Men movies, and then this guy Ryan Reynolds actually made a shot, and that shot went viral. People were gone crazy that this is the Deadpool I want in the costume, not that what you showed me before. And then he made Deadpool 1, 2, and now this is the third movie, right? So it is his IP, his own baby, and that is how he treats it.
And I love like how he's trying to like get himself part of the Avengers gang.
Exactly.
And he's like giving interviews,
Right.
and then after getting rejected, he also creates his own gang also.
Yeah, exactly. And that was really good. Like the way he was giving interview, why he wants to join them. It was very much like an interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, why
It's
do
like,
you want to
I
join?
don't want to waste my lines
Yeah.
speaking with you. I like call the main man. I want to like, save my this why I want to join you people
Right.
for the main person.
Exactly. Yeah. So
Felt relatable.
it did absolutely. Same goes for Wolverine. I mean, he has played his part for I don't know 20 plus years now, and like you don't know who can replace him except one cameo which is there. One cameo which is there. People have been calling it out that maybe this actor can replace him, and he shows up in this movie as a cameo and
As a short glimpse.
as a short glimpse, and I'm like, yes. I can see it. Please bring him this character
Yeah.
to these movies.
Actually, there are a couple of cameos, so
Yeah.
you should not be blinking.
Yeah.
Okay, be very alert. I mean,
Seriously.
these cameos are like very.
Very yeah, exactly. So many cameos, and I'm not talking about A-listers. There's a lot of B, C level villains, characters from the past movies who are like here. Some of them don't even get a line to say.
I think that speaking about cameos, I think we can talk about
Ah,
cameos.
so now it is spoiler territory. We have talked about most of the good things about the movie and one negative which I talked about, which is too much homework. So let's talk about the
Just
spoilers.
ignore him.
Yeah.
Go watch the movie.
Yeah, let's talk about the spoilers now. So, which one do you want to talk about first?
Captain America.
Captain America. Yeah, so he's here. Okay, and this time he's speaking shit. As much shit talk he can do because he was not allowed to do that as Captain America. So Captain America was always a character who was not allowed to swear. In fact, if other people used to swear, he was like language.
He
So,
was a nice guy.
He was a nice guy.
That's why he liked him.
Yeah.
For him, he's the idol.
Right.
And he's a nice guy.
So finally, Chris Evans, after Endgame, he was like, bye, you know what? I'm done with Captain America. I'm done playing the Mr. Nice superhuman dude. I want to do some villainous roles elsewhere. Like, for example, in Glass Onion, Knives Out, he played villains. A lot of places actually he played villains after being done with MCU. Now he's back and he's talking so much shit.
You should actually wait till the very end.
Yeah.
The end credit is also
About him, kind
Him.
of. Yeah, exactly. And he is not Captain America. He is not Captain America when he shows up. It is basically shown that he is what? Johnny Storm. Like, I was surprised. It took me by surprise. But when it took me by surprise, I was like, oh, of course he played back in the day, because this movie is about Fox. All the Fox characters, not about MCU. It is mostly about Fox characters. So of course he played Johnny Storm back in the day. So that is, he is now there. Then there are all the X-Men B-listers and C-listers which you don't know. There is Toad, there is Ezreal, there is Juggernaut, like characters who you will not even remember. Some of those characters have in fact been done better in Deadpool movies. Like Juggernaut you saw in Deadpool 2, which was done much better than the character they showed here in the past. Thankfully they cut him, sliced him out. Right? So this movie was kind of saying, okay, so these are the shitty characters from the past movies, let us kill them out forever.
Channing Tatum and all also, right?
Yeah, Channing Tatum at least was a fresh introduction to that character. They had one character back in the day, recast, new character, now he's back.
So like these things are the ones which I won't be
Yeah.
having history to.
Yeah.
I mean, I just know Channing Tatum because of the
Right.
Step Up OG movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a reference. Step up.
First.
Wow. Good.
Nothing related to this series. But I
Yeah.
know Channing Tatum because that time he was my crush.
Yeah.
So I just know from there.
So he shows up as Gambit, and the character was actually done very well. I mean, like he has an accent, he has a different language he's speaking in, and that is like made fun of in the movie. You don't feel like offended by it, honestly. They keep making fun about the way he speaks.
Then there is Blade.
Sorry. There is Blade now in the movie. He's played by the OG, the Wesley Snipes, from 1998 and the subsequent movies. So Wesley Snipes is one of those actors who made news with the kind of character he played in Blade. Blade was very famous back in the day. In fact, it was one of the first kind of Marvel character which was so famous back in the day.
Okay.
He was very bad as a actor on set. Like, it is known that he used to misbehave with people. It is known that he used to be late on sets. I'll just show you one video later. So there was one scene. I mean, I'm just calling out that scene. If you find out, you should also watch it. There's one scene in Blade movies where he's lying down and he was supposed to open his eyes. He was so childish. He's like, I'll not open my eyes while the camera is on. So they kept insisting, please open your eyes. We need to take that shot where you open your eyes in the camera. He did not. So they had to CGI the eyes on him. And that CGI is so bad. Like, so that's one of the fun facts about Blade. Just letting you know, because back in the day. So Blade is there. Then X-23 is there. Elektra is there. I don't know why X-23 is there in the Void though. I mean, in the Void, all the actors and characters who have been kind of sidelined from the older movies, they were there. But X-23 was from Logan, the little girl who kind of grew up in this movie. Why was she there? It was a little bit of plot hole for me. I did not understand, honestly.
But we all we also have Hulk.
Yeah, just show up for few seconds. And by the way, this movie is in works. Wolverine, Thor is also there. Yeah, of course, and Thor.
I'm murmuring as if are we supposed to say?
No, Thor is also there. Yes, exactly. There is one scene where in the TVA he shows us there's a screen where he sees himself lying down and Thor is like kind of cradling in his arms and like what is happening? Why is that scene there? Why is he crying?
People are like, no, you're not supposed to watch this. This is a future dated thing.
Right, exactly. Then we talked about one actor who can replace Wolverine. Henry Cavill shows up from DCU, who played Superman there, and they make joke about it. First of all, he looks so good as Wolverine, right? I mean, he has the personality absolutely bang on, the muscles, the look, everything. And there's like, we will treat you better than how those guys treated you in the DCU. So they make jokes about that as well, right?
There is one more cameo. The mask. It was a masked cameo, but Blake Lively.
Blake Lively,
as
exactly.
Lady Deadpool, she's also there. So that multiverse people, when they join hands in together, the one lady who was with the blonde hair, I thought it's Lady Gaga, because of the absolute blondness of the hair. But then it turns out that it is Blake Lively.
And there are so many versions of Deadpool out there, right? In UK, you see like all version. There is a Japanese version of it, like, and that is
there's an absolute newborn version of it,
teenage version of it, lady version of it, ghost version of it. All kinds of Deadpool show up at near the end, and that action scene is again so good because they're just going berserk on these Deadpools which are there. There is even an alternate version of Ryan Reynolds' own Deadpool who can't regenerate, by the way.
Who can't regenerate. And that actually, I think we should be speaking about the cinema work, the camera work which is there, the cinematography, and brilliantly done. I mean, see, doing action choreographies is one thing, but if you're not able to capture it through your lenses, again, it falls flat. The first action sequence to even the action sequence that we spoke right now, the way the camera work kept on happening, I think brilliantly done.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I mean, like, there are so many cameos. Even while talking, we might have missed some of them. Oh, by the way, short version of Wolverine is shown because Wolverine technically in comics is short. He's not as tall as Hugh Jackman. Yes. So actually, a comic accurate Hugh Jackman shows up on the screen. So anyway, so many cameos are there. We will miss, even now talking about it, we'll keep on missing. Also, spoilers about the villain. Villain is Cassandra Nova. She is actually twin of Charles Xavier. I mean, like, she was supposed to be in the same womb, but I don't know what happened. How did she end up in the Void? No clue. But that is who she's supposed to be.
I will just say that regarding Cassandra Nova, the villainousness of the character could have been a little bit more imposing.
It didn't really feel like that. This is the most epic version they could put against these so iconic superheroes. That is the only thing. So so I think we talked about a lot of things, from cameos to action, comedy, acting, costumes, MCU history. So a lot of things we talked about. But this is an absolute watch. You have to watch this. This is the only one movie of MCU. Reward them. Show them that this is the kind of movie they should be making. Right? I mean, that is how you incentivize people. No, don't watch the BS they've been putting since 1 year. This is what is supposed to be watched.
I would also love to mention the background score, because I was like, you will go this till the very end.
Right.
So with that, we are signing off from today's episode. Thank you. Bye. See you again.